This is Beating Ark as a Spartan from 650 BC. I'm your average young male, and so I had the grand idea to roleplay as a Spartan from 650 BC in Ark. The Spartans were primarily known for their extreme dedication to military training in their warrior society, which made them renowned as one of the most formidable fighting forces in ancient Greece, focusing on discipline, loyalty to the state, and exceptional skill in land combat. Knowing this, I was curious how this would play out if I was the Dominus of the Ark. In order to find out, I would have to act exactly as a Spartan would. So here are the rules that I laid out for myself. I would begin to use primitive gear only as a Spartan, relying on spears, bows, and melee weapons, no guns or advanced technology at all, with the only exception being cryopods and things that are necessary. For taming rules, I would focus on taming creatures that would align with a Spartan theme, like strong, battle-ready dinos like Rexes or Spinos, and avoid using flyers to mimic the infantry aspect. I would construct my base in fortified strategic location, emphasizing strong defenses and simplistic design, using mostly stone structures, along with the Greek mod that I added. I would be setting up in dangerous territory to prove that I was the strongest. I would engage in combat frequently and focus on melee combat. Spartans were known for their prowess in close quarters fighting, and so they would fight dinos and enemies up close. I would be allowed to have dinos as companions, but I wouldn't always just ride them into battle. Mostly I would be on foot. And then lastly, I would restrict myself to limited resources and only take what I needed, because Spartans were frugal and efficient. Alright y'all, this is Dominus. Let's go. Guys, we have to go obviously here. Duh. The hardest place. We're gonna live on Carno Island for a little bit.
Are you the one I've been waiting for? You
Nah.
might be. I hope so.
Spawning in, I felt determined to be the ultimate life form on this ark. Alright, I'm here to conquer this world. These teardowns won't get in my way. I immediately turned to the right and saw an enemy tribe. So I got straight to work and started harvesting some resources. I crafted my first pickaxe and leveled up. We're gonna have to definitely upgrade our health, our stamina, our melee damage, and our movement speed. Those are gonna be the most for sure things that we're gonna have to upgrade first. First, we're gonna go with our melee damage. Gotta get that training, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get that spear and that stone hatch. Two things I would like to mention. One is that I made the days extremely long, and two, that my attributes are obviously boosted. I did this because obviously I'm not gonna be relying on dinos as much, and using the base stats, I'd probably only be able to get to 200% melee damage and probably only about 1,000 health. Although my resource collection was down quite a bit. I spent some good time collecting resources and also getting some levels. With that, I ended up crafting my first spear. Alright, let's get our melee damage up again. No shoes the whole game, guys. No shoes. I put another level into melee damage and continue to get those resources because I wanted to make a small outpost right here. I'm going to set up my outpost right here, and then I'm going to go and destroy those people. Going towards the battlefield, I saw something that caught my eye. Haha! Look at that. My fearsome creature already. I obviously had to bestow my new friend a name, Titus. Alright, we shall go get our first creature. Here he is. Done. Aha. With my first victim down, I got my spoils. Dominus doesn't need any of that. You think Romans ate vegetables? Heck no. You ready for a base raid? Let's go. At this point, I felt like I was pretty prepared for this raid, so I went straight for it. My first intention was to fire this guy up and then shank him with the spear. I thought if I could knock out the raptor or take the dude off the mount, it would be best. Get back here. With the first member down, the rest of their legion did not hesitate. I've been knocked out. And I've been killed. After suffering my first loss, I went back at it. I quickly grabbed my stuff and went after the lone archer I found. Seeing that they had felled my beast Titan, I had to get revenge. After shaming my enemy, I found more foes to battle. I set the enemy ablaze as it tried to retreat. I didn't let it get away as I chucked a spear into its side and ran it down, finally taking its life. That's when I was ambushed. Not feeling worthy to be a Spartan, I set my eyes on a new target, my training ark. I would dedicate myself to the art of battle in the way of the spear. I'd familiarize myself with the inhabitants of this land and make myself the dominant king overall. I first put both my levels into health and unlocked some engrams. I grabbed my old stuff and raided their village, and then destroyed one of their huts. I gathered more resources, I upgraded my melee damage and my health, and then made a place to rest. I grabbed more resources and put more points into my health. I decided to help myself out and get this wooden shield. I got the materials in order to craft it and I equipped it. To my surprise, this is what I found. It had transformed into a primitive Centurion shield. After that, I laid some storage boxes down. I put some items away and I found my next target. So I decided to puncture his ribs. I harvested that boy and then someone tried to take my loot. So obviously I had to give him what he deserved and take him down. Doing so somehow gave me more XP, so I went ahead and leveled up my melee damage a good bit and my health. Then I unlocked the war drums, the wood spike wall, and the large storage shelf. I continued to get resources and decided to craft a large storage box. Then I placed them both down, upgraded my movement speed, and unlocked a wooden raft. My plan was to test my strength in the Coliseum, also known as Carnel Island. Bundling together my ship also gave me a few levels, which I then put into my health. This allowed me to upgrade, buying the refining forge, smithy, metal pick, metal hatchet, and some trank arrows. I placed my raft down and named it Crete. Knowing that this was one of the most difficult locations on the map to go, I felt determined and ready for war. As I approached, I saw multiple Argentavius by the red drop, and as I went over closer to the spots to get the Explorer notes, I saw the formidable Rex. This didn't scare me away, as I knew exactly what I came here for and what I wouldn't leave without getting. Then the Rex set its eyes on me. I tried to relocate to grab some more ground, but instead he jumped on my raft and started attacking me. I had no choice except to do what I did best, which was to grab the spear. I was dealing 113 damage to the head, and so I was actually surprised. But he had broken down my ship, and so I had no way of returning to my land. I wasn't trying to run away, but I was trying to be smart. I knew I had to create some distance between me and the beast in order to gain some ground, and I accidentally ran over another Explorer note on the way, leaving me wide open to an attack. Unfortunately, he caught me off at the sea, and he managed to chase me into the water while my baby raptor was trying to follow, and I was slain. I woke up in a daze, haunted by the loss that I had just suffered. I knew that I was fighting one of the most formidable opponents on the island, but still. I checked my inventory, and to my surprise, I had 28 levels. So I had thrown a ton of them into my health, gaining over 1,000 health, and then the rest into my melee damage, being at over 430%. I was a high enough level in order to unlock the Greek stairs, the stone walls, the stone foundations, and so I did. I unlocked the pike, as well as the sword. I unlocked the Dodik saddle, along with the cannon and the cannonballs. Next, the Anki saddle, metal shield, polymer, electronics, fabricator, and then I was off to the island. On my swim over there, I saw that my raptor had died. I looked for some extra loot, and then I got jumped. I tried to cover the distance, but the two beasts were on my tail. I then had a 300 IQ play where I went up to the mountain, turned the right corner, and decided to hurl myself off of it, causing them to be confused. I grabbed my backpack and ran away. But the dino came up to me again, and I was not going to back down. I shoved my spear right into its face, doing 214 damage this time, but it was way too strong. I was felled. Back on the island once again, it let out a ferocious roar as I grabbed my items. I tried to reposition at the east side of the island, and I found myself another Explorer note along with the purple drop. Unfortunately, I could only take the narcotics because I was a Spartan. Then I sniffed around the island looking for more battle. Feeling courageous, I went ahead and actually decided to go ahead and set up a base here. I started out with a stone foundation and a bed. Looking for more resources, I was ambushed, but my training had paid off and I took a mountain one kill. Then I decided to up my melee damage even more. Next, I decided to challenge this ferocious beast. I was able to take it out relatively quickly, which proved my training effective. I also was able to take out the scorpion with ease. I then decided to take out this saber-toothed tiger in order to steal his baby. I continued to battle many different creatures, and that gave me enough experience to go ahead and upgrade my melee damage past 600%, and then I put some points into stamina and the rest in health. Then I saw these two gangs fighting each other, so I had to step in. Unfortunately, my saber-tooth was killed in the battle. I turned around and joined the fight. I kept doing exactly what I knew best, and that was to hurl the spear into the side of my enemies. I continued to fight the battles left and right until there was only one left. After that, I turned around to see all have vanquished. I checked my inventory and I saw that I had 23 levels. I ran around knowing that I was by far one of the strongest creatures on this land at this point in time. I decided to go test my luck against this Argentavius again just to make sure. Without a doubt, killed it in 2 hits. I decided to give myself a boost with some upgrades. I first put some points into melee damage, and then I put them into health. I scattered some also in my stamina, more into my movement speed, and some into my fortitude, then putting more into my health, then melee damage. Then I got jumped by a scorpion, so I had to do what I do best, which is to kill it. And then I saw I had everything I needed to build my raft back up except wood, so I went ahead and tried to grab some. Then I saw this alpha T-Rex, which I was confident, but not that confident quite yet. So I grabbed the wood and went back over to Crete and fixed it up. At this point, I did not know where I was going to go, but I saw a saber-toothed tiger running around, so I went ahead and tried to grab it. Once he was mine, I turned around and decided to fight the Ceratosaurus. Well, I was able to kill it, but it did kill my saber-tooth. For some reason, these saber-tooths were never surviving these fights. So I decided to get back on my raft and go over to my little outpost base. So I checked my engrams and realized that with all the fighting being done, I was able to get enough levels to unlock all the Greek things from the mod. This was awesome because this is the first time I've ever seen this, so I was super excited. And you already knew I was going to start trying to build this. So I placed down a few foundations and placed down some spiked walls. Next, I placed down some large storage boxes. Then I upgraded my health, and that was actually it for part 1.